Hey guys, so in today's video I'm gonna be showing you guys how I make my thumbnails. So I do this with just using apps on my iPhone, so I don't edit my thumbnails on a laptop. So as a example to show you guys how I edit my thumbnails, I'm going to be copying this thumbnail that I made for my previous video. So I'm going to be remaking this thumbnail just so you see how I do that step by step, and this is usually kind of the steps that I make for every single video's thumbnail. So yeah, this is basically just how I edit my thumbnails on my iPhone. Okay, so once you go into this folder called YouTube, you will see all the apps that I use. I usually edit it with iMovie and CapCut Pro, but I switch over to Luma Fusion, which is a really great app. But yeah, so basically what I do to edit, I first go into this app called Over. Now here they have a lot of presets, and usually the photos on my phone are not the size of a YouTube thumbnail. So basically I just use the YouTube thumbnail preset and import the photo into this project. And once I've done that, I can basically go ahead and adjust the size on here. What I also do on this app is adjust like all the saturation and the highlights and the contrast and everything. So here you can see I'm just playing around with it, and I don't really have a go-to amount of like saturation. I usually like to bring it down a bit. I don't like too bright of thumbnails. That's just my preference, like I said. And yeah, I don't really have go-to things that I have to do on my thumbnails. It basically depends on each photo or each video. But after I've done that, I go to save it to photos. Then I go into this app called LD, which stands for lens distortion, and I import my photo from there. And then once I've done that, I add in a light, and this is the one I use, light hits. So basically you can adjust the color, but I always like the orange one. It makes it more warmy tone and things. So yeah, I basically just adjust that and put it in a corner somewhere. I just think it gives a little pop of color and just makes it a little more unique and not just plain. So yeah, once I've done that, I usually will go into Phonto, which is the app that I mostly use for my thumbnails, and I'll import my photo into here and add this fade filter, which I like on my thumbnails because it just gives it a nice look, which all my thumbnails have. So first things first, I go out of the app and go to Adobe Photoshop Sketch, and I start to make a new project, and basically it doesn't matter what size you have. Then I use this brush, and basically I adjust the color, but it just depends on each thumbnail which color I'm gonna use. This one I just used white, and basically then I start to make a bunch of lines, and it will look like a brush effect, which I really love to use for thumbnails. I think it's unique, and it's not just something I got from the internet. I kind of made it myself. So yeah, that's kind of something that I really like to do on my thumbnails. You'll see in the last couple of thumbnails that I made, I usually use this. But yeah, then I just remove the background, and I wanted to save it to a PNG. So yeah, I just do that, and I save the photo to my photo library. And after I've done that, I go back into Phonto to add this to my project. Okay, so then I just click on the three stripes on the bottom left corner and click on add image. So then I just add the brush stroke image that I made, the PNG. I usually resize it a bit so it's not too small, and then again I adjust it, I adjust the size, I tilt it a bit, and basically just play around with it. And then once I've got that, I have to add my text. I've already imported a lot of fonts onto my Phonto app, but yeah, my favorite one that I've mostly been using lately is this Better Together script. That's the name of this font, and it's just a really kind of girly kind of touch to the font. So yeah, I really like this. So I just started to type in Apple Watch Beginner's Guide. That was my previous video that I did. If you want to go check that out, I have that in the description box below and the eye up top. But moving on, I adjust the color and adjust the style, the spacing. So you can see me adjusting the spacing a bit just to make everything a little more closer together. I usually play around with the settings of my text a lot. Like I go back and forth between styles and everything just to make sure I get everything right. I like to add a shadow just to make it stand out more. In this case, I use white with black font. Just seemed to fit better with the thumbnail itself. So yeah, I basically keep on readjusting the fonts and the text and everything. I play around with it a lot. Here you can see a perfect example of me not making up my mind. So here I again adjusted the spacing so everything was a little closer together. I adjusted the size and everything. So yeah, again, I really do this a lot of times just to make sure that I'm really happy with my thumbnail. So once I finally made a decision of what I like, I saved the photo to my camera roll. And here you can see the original thumbnail that I made versus the thumbnail that I made in this video. It's a little different, like the coloring and everything, but basically this is what my thumbnails look like. This is how I made this thumbnail for this specific video. I still like the original better, but this is just a way for you guys to see how I personally make my thumbnails. I'm just going to quickly show you guys how to add the thumbnail to your video. So once you go into YouTube Studio, you'll see all your videos. So just select on the video that you want to add the thumbnail and click on the pencil on the top right corner. Then once you've done that, you'll see the option to edit your thumbnail and click on change, and then it takes you to your photo library, and you can go ahead and select any thumbnail that you want or the thumbnails they already give you. So yeah, that's just a way for you to add your thumbnails to your videos if you were unaware of how to do so. Okay, so that was how I make my thumbnails. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will have all the apps in the description box below if you were wondering of the apps. I really hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Click on the subscribe button and I would really appreciate that. Go on the playlist to see all my other tech videos and click on the bottom playlist to see all of my other YouTube tips and tricks videos. Love you guys so much. Bye.